schools in the division are located in Ghana, where roughly half of the members of the division's members live. So what we're going to do is Joseph is going to introduce himself with a few pictures, and then I'll talk about my connection to Ghana, and then I have 5 questions for Joseph. So that's the structure this morning. So Joseph, first of all, could you mention something about what you're wearing? The kente cloth is very important in Ghana.
Kente cloth is very important in Ghana, especially for celebrations. So on special occasions, you see all kinds of designs and color combinations. Recently, I think this year, they had the independence anniversary. You didn't mention, I would have brought a photo of that. And that was the official attire. So almost everybody that was in the stadium for the celebration wear kente cloth. And it's very special, especially for the kings, whenever they sit in state, that's what they wear.
I remember as a child seeing in the next village the Asante Hini sitting on a stool with a kente cloth.
Yeah, that is the traditional attire, especially when it comes to traditional celebrations. And now you see it in all kinds of clothing. We have ties and bow ties and even socks. Now they're designing into socks. You know, it's very colorful, so people like to have it as souvenirs. And at graduations, or you see them around their neck in stoles and things like that. So it's now an international thing, not just for Ghana.
Yes.
I think this year also, was it this year, there are some Congress, people from the Congress went to Ghana and they all had a kente cloth. I think when the George Floyd thing happened, some of them put them around, and then they were the
representatives.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's become international.
So Joseph, tell me a bit about your background. Where are you from in Ghana? And you might have a picture or two.
Okay. The picture you see up there is the house in which I grew up. You know, until I finished secondary school, that's where I lived. And almost every Sabbath too, I used to go back there to my hometown for Sabbath worship. So this picture was taken exactly 2 years ago when I went there with my
Is that Afia?
That's Afia right there in front of the house. So that's where I grew up. And this is my home church. Yeah, I grew up in this church. I was nurtured in this church, and I was worshiping in this church until I moved to the United States. Even though I wasn't living in my hometown anymore, but it wasn't that far from the city. So some of us, some of my siblings and other family members, we drive there every Sabbath so we can worship with our family and friends back home, and also to help energize the people that we left behind so the church won't, go dead.
What special occasion is this?
This was a Sabbath whereby over there when people pass, we have funerals, and it's a very elaborate funerals. So because we are Adventists, most funerals happen there because of work on Saturdays, but the Adventists most times do it on Thursday. And then the family gathers also on Friday. So Saturday, they invite friends and family to go to church for Thanksgiving. In spite of whatever happened, they go to thank the Lord for seeing them through all their processes and bringing everything to a successful end. So that's one of the occasions. And this is the choir over there. And then the next slide.
Before you move on.
This is a cross-section of people that came to the church.
Before you move on, I noticed those shirts there have a special meaning, right?
Yes, the black and white is also for celebration. And usually it's used for celebrations in times of death, and to show appreciation to the Lord for all that happened. Even though the person is gone, we are, grieving, but still, he's there for us, and he's console us, and he's help us to deal with the loss, and also all the preparations and all the activities have come to end, and there wasn't any incident. So that is how we do the celebration. So by the time we are done with this, we kind of got over. It's difficult to get over it, but most times by the time we're done with the service, you see all the smiles, all the laughing and talking. You may wonder, did somebody die in this family, or that kind of thing. After all the crying and wailing, we have something to laugh about. So when it happens like that, not only Adventists come. So sometimes we get overflowing members, people in the congregation. So you see, you can't see any aisle over there, because when it happens like that, a lot of people come, so we put extra chairs so that we can accommodate as many people that we can. Growing up, we didn't have an Adventist elementary school in my hometown. Now we do. So until I went to secondary school, I didn't have any contact with Adventist education. The education I had it from the church. So I went to Roswell SDA secondary school. This is a new site they are developing. So that you see, that's the entrance to the school. So to show that I benefited from the Adventist education somewhere.
What age were you when you started?
It's about
school.
About 16 there, about. Yeah. Because you have to finish middle school and all that before you go to high school. Those times we were doing 5 years high school, 2 years advanced before we went to university. But now it's 6 years elementary, 3 years junior high, and then 3 years senior high, and then you go to university. That's me over there. When I went home one time to visit, so I went to see the school, and at the entrance there. And I put this up here. This is one of the labs, the science labs over there in the school. They were in deplorable state. So my year group, we have taken upon ourselves to renovate those labs. So we're almost done with the chemistry lab. And it's individuals, we come together and make donations so we can take care of things like that. And I went to their website, and I found out they have about 3,200 students currently, and about 163 members of staff. So that school has grown a lot. Just that one school, they have that many kids in the school, all teenagers, and we'll get to how the Adventist education impacts students that go through the system. This is a cross-section of the school that they are building right now. Now we go to where Tom is connected to. It's called the Seventh-day Adventist Secondary School in Bekwai. That's where Tom was with their parents.
So in 1957, Ghana gained its independence, and my parents went over there as missionaries from 57 to 63. And that's my connection to Ghana. And so I have not been there. I would like to go back and visit. But my parents' work was, my dad was a school administrator. It was the Bekwai training school and a secondary school, a teacher training school, secondary school, and also training of ministers as well. And my mom taught English and French. One of my memories there is of the students singing as they went and as they were in chapel, singing not like we do here, but singing with gusto. So what do we have here?
Yeah, that is the entrance of the school. Yeah.
See, I haven't seen that.
And that is the administration block. Yeah. If you go further down, that's where Tom's dad's office was.
Huh.
Yeah. And then This is a cross-section of the Bekwai secondary school students at worship.
Wow,
Sabbath, yeah.
because I don't remember a building that big.
Yeah, they have extended it.
Yes.
Yeah, because now they're getting more students, so they have also to extend their worship center too.
Wow.
Yeah.
What else?
They have a baptistry there. Yeah. And that's where Tom lived when he was in Ghana.
I remember this. I remember this backyard. There was an occasion, though, too, where we were not supposed to go off into the jungle, but a couple of us did go off in a little path, and we're still okay. We didn't get bitten by any snakes. So, are we ready for the 5 questions?
I think that's one more.
One more.
It's
wow.
girls' dormitory, a new one that was inaugurated about 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The place
So
has grown.
It kept growing.
The place has grown. So the seeds that were planted have borne fruit. So in 1963 was when I left and my parents left. So my first question to Joseph is, how much has the church membership grown in Ghana since the year 1963?
The Ghana mission was established, I believe, in 1894. That's where they first have the contact with the Adventist message. And it was organized in 1933. And in 1963, we only had about 6,600 members out of a population, 8,000 members out of a population of 6.6 million at that time. They only had one secondary school, what was Bekwai, and 2 training colleges. That at Bekwai, and there was one in Koforidia, but it was a day teacher training college at that time. Then started growing, membership started going up. So currently we have 2 union conference. One is a union conference, the other is the union mission. So we have 2 unions over there, 19 conferences, and 3 missions. Wow. And the membership has grown up to about 365,000 as of June 2019. These are the baptized members. If you add the non-baptized members, there are over 700,000 right now. So that's how much the church has grown over there since 1963.
Wow. So you mentioned that there were 2 unions?
Yes.
You want to expand on that more? When did they divide?
We used to be part of the West African Union, and then in 2000 they established the Ghana Union Conference. And then as things started going up, membership going up, and they divided the Ghana Union into South Ghana Union Conference and the North Ghana Union Mission in 2013. So from 2000 and then 2013, the Ghana Union was reorganized into 2 unions.
They had so many members, they had to do that.
Yes.
Yes. So how about schools? We're going to get into this. How many schools are there in Ghana?
Before I touch on the schools, since you asked about the union, we have over 2,000 churches right now, organized churches in Ghana.
Wow.
And the schools, currently we have 1 university, 2 colleges of education, that is the teacher training colleges. They handle the elementary and the middle school, the junior high students. And we have 3 nursing training colleges because we have over 13 hospitals and 12 clinics, so they need to have their manpower to man those hospitals and clinics. So they have 3 training nurses training colleges. And then over 14 secondary schools.
14.
14.
Wow.
And for the basic schools, we're talking about the elementary and the middle schools, we have over 1,000 right now. So
Wow.
that's how many schools that they have in Ghana.
So that leads us to the next question. How important has education been in the growth of the church in Ghana? We can see that it's very important.
You know, the philosophy, the Adventist philosophy about education is to make the students reflect the character of God. So in Ghana too, we have maintained that, and then we also maintain the balance between religious activities and then the secular activities. So there's a connection there. So because of that, a lot of people like to send their kids to the Adventist schools. because not that we only train them to be good citizens, but we also train them to be citizens of heaven. So because of that, a lot of parents want to take their kids to Adventist school. And if you go there, like when we were there, unless you are told or the person tells you I'm not Adventist, you may not know that they are not Adventists.
You're
Why?
talking about the students in the
The
schools.
students, yeah, because we all participate in all the religious activities together. So unless somebody tells you, no, I'm a non-Adventist, you may not know that they are not.
So could it be that sometimes more than half of the students are not
Yeah,
Adventists?
in most of our schools, the non-Adventists most times outnumber the Adventist students who are there. So that's how the school has impacted on people. And being part of the growth of the church is that you take part on all the religious activities. When I went to sixth form, that was after high school, I went to non-Adventist college or secondary school. Over there we had, I think, mornings worship once a week. But when I was in Agona, we have it every morning. You have morning worship service every morning. And every Friday we do our cleaning after school in the afternoon, Friday afternoon before sundown to meet the Sabbath. That's how we call it. And so after that, you dress your bed with all white bed sheet and white pillowcases, and somebody will come around, make sure it's clean.
Inspection?
And inspection. And afterwards, we go for the AY activities. And it's not just for Adventist students. It's for
All.
the student body, the whole school. Everybody has to be present. And you wear, if you're a guy, a boy, you wear white shirt, white pants, black shoe, black tie from Friday evening to Saturday evening. That's why you saw those when she showed the picture of the white students. You see all the white there. That's how we dress up for the Sabbath. And every student has to participate. And we also take part in week of spiritual emphasis. So every semester there is that program where the teachers and the students, we all go through the week of, they call it week of prayer kind of thing, and we rededicate ourselves. And sometimes they do altar call, and you have some of these non-Adventist students, giving themselves to Christ.
Amen.
I've seen a lot of them. Some of them, they don't become Adventists anyways, but I've seen some of them becoming pastors in other churches and things like that. And that there was a teacher at our school that told us when he went to the Adventist training college, he wasn't an Adventist. His family is from the Catholic background. He didn't become an Adventist, but years later, the message was still burning in him, and he converted to be an Adventist. So he came back to our school to teach over there. So that's how much, the school has impacted. And as these students go through, they see all these baptisms and all these ceremonies, and some of them go back home and then, carry on the message to their family, and sometimes some of their family members also become converted. If even not to Adventism, they become Christians as well.
So we can say that education is evangelism.
It is evangelism. By integrating faith and learning, a lot of students are led to accept Christ as their personal Savior. So that's how much the church is helping. And to talk about my hometown, we didn't have elementary school, which was an Adventist elementary, but in 1994, we started one, and now it's growing, and it keeps growing.
And it will grow, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So one last question here. Why do you think the gospel has been so well received in Ghana? Is there something about the culture?
It is. I come from the area we call ourselves Akan, and the Akans believe in the creator God. Before the Europeans came, they were holding up to a supreme creator that they call Onyankopon Kwame, meaning a Saturday God or God of Saturday, even before the Europeans came. And they called Friday Dapa. Dapa means preparation day. So when they came and brought the gospel, it wasn't difficult for them to accept that because they already knew God. Just that a few of them were not going through the right channel as the Bible teaches us. But then they knew that there was this supreme being called Kwame, meaning his birthday is Saturday. So that's how our culture, or our beliefs help the gospel to be manifested or propagated in my country.
So is that the Ashanti?
Not only the Ashantis, when you talk about the accounts, it includes other areas, but the Ashantis are the predominant group.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how would you say Happy Sabbath in Twi, in the language of the Ashanti?
Aniji Homeda.
Aniji Homeda. And how do you answer?
There are so many ways you can answer it. Da Kron Kron or Anijida.
Da Kron Kron or Anijida. So if you can remember that until next week, you can test each other. Aniji Homeda. And you could say Da Kron Kron.
Da Kron Kron or Anijida.
Anijida.
So that's how much the seed that Tom's parents, sowed in Ghana has grown. I forgot to bring you, I went back to look at the Adventist yearbook from 1963, and I saw your mom's name. Just that they put Mrs. R.D. Jordan, but I knew it was her. And then they put your dad's name. And then our former president of the General Conference, John Paulson, was a chaplain at the time your parents were there.
And Matthew B. Diakon.
Matthew B. Diakon, too, was a student of Tom's mom, Yeah, the secretary, and he became the vice president, too, yeah.
General Conference.
Of the General Conference, yeah.
So do you have any other final remarks?
What I would say is that wherever we find ourselves, we need to get this message going. You never know. Those seeds that your parents sowed in Ghana is now grown from, at the time they were living, it was only 8,000 members. But now we have over 365,000. So we need to carry on with the message wherever we find ourselves. And through the support of the Holy Spirit and the strength that God gives us, we will impact lives and bring them to Christ, and they will also be part of the kingdom when he comes the second time.
So Ghana is doing very well. That's why you don't see it listed among the projects. So there are other projects, so please pay attention to those. And those seeds will also grow in Liberia, Guinea, and Nigeria.
All right.
Thank you very much, Joseph.
Thank you, too.